All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Budget session of Parliament begins today with the address of President Droupadi Murmu to the joint sitting of both houses. Economic survey to be tabled today. Union budget to be presented tomorrow. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Nagaland and Meghalaya to begin today. President Droupadi Murmu to address 31st Foundation Day of National Commission for Women in New Delhi today. 5th Khelo India Youth Games opens in Madhya Pradesh to a glittering ceremony in Bhopal. And in women's cricket, India beat the West Indies by 8 wickets in Tri-Nation Series in South Africa. The budget session of Parliament will begin today. The session will commence with the address by President Droupadi Murmu to the joint sitting of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha in the Central Hall. The economic survey will also be tabled in both houses on the first day of the session today. The Union Budget 2023-24 will be presented tomorrow. The budget session will be held in 2 parts and continue till the 6th of April this year. It will have 27 sittings spread over 66 days. The first part of the session will go on till the 13th of February. There will be a recess from 14th February to the 12th of March. The recess enables the department-related parliamentary standing committees to examine the demands for grants and make reports relating to their ministries and departments. The second part will begin the 13th of March and continue till the 6th of April. Ahead of the session, an all-party meeting was held at Parliament House Complex yesterday. The meeting, convened by the government, was attended by Union Ministers Rajnath Singh, Prehlad Joshi and Piyush Goyal and others. The government sought cooperation from all political parties to ensure smooth functioning of both the houses. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, Sudeep Bandyopadhyay of TMC, Elamaran Karim of CPIM, Priyanka Chaturvedi of Shiv Sena UBT, Manoj Jha of RJD, Sanjay Singh of AAP, BRS MP K. Keshava Rao and BJD leader Shoshmit Patra were among those who attended the meeting. Talking to media after the meeting, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prehlad Joshi said the government is ready for discussion on any issue in Parliament as per rules and procedures.
इस बजट सत्र में महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का उद्बोधन होगा, उसके बाद बजट का प्रेजेंटेशन होगा, महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के भाषण के ऊपर थैंक्स गिविंग मोशन पर चर्चा होगा, बजट पर चर्चा होगा और उसके बाद रिसेस होगा और मार्च 13 से फिर बैठेगा और फाइनेंस बिल इसके बारे में चर्चा होगा। इसके लिए हमने ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुलाया था। इस मीटिंग में 27 पार्टीज पार्टिसिपेट किया। ऐसे ही इस बार भी हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो इश्यू एज फार एज डिस्कसिंग एनी इश्यू।
Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Nagaland and Meghalaya will begin today with the issuance of notification. Candidates can file their nomination papers till February 7th. The scrutiny will be held on the 8th and the last date for withdrawal of candidature is the 10th of February. The polling for 60 seats in both the states will be held on February 27th. Our Kohima correspondent has filed this report.
Altogether, 13,17,632 electors are eligible to exercise their democratic right in the ensuing election. A total of 24,689 new voters were included in the final electoral rolls. For Gaspani 1, Assembly constituency has highest number of 74,395 electors and 27 Mokokchung Town Assembly constituency with lowest number of 8,302 electors. A total of 2,315 polling stations have been designated, wherein 680 have been marked as vulnerable and 920 as critical polling stations. For AIR News, Asunyo from Kohima.
Meanwhile, filing of nominations for Tripura Assembly elections ended yesterday. Our correspondent reports that a total of 305 nominations have been filed for a total of 60 seats. Scrutiny of nomination papers will be taken up today and last date for withdrawal of candidature is 2nd February. Senior BJP leader and Tripura Chief Minister Dr. Manik Saha filed his nomination yesterday. He is contesting from the town Bardowali constituency in Agartala. Union Minister Pratima Bhaumik submitted her nomination paper from Dhanpur constituency. BJP is fielding its candidates on 55 seats. Congress candidates Sudeep Roy Burman and Ashish Saha also filed their nominations yesterday. Assembly elections in the state will be held on the 16th of February and counting of votes for Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland will take place on the 2nd of March. President of the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Kasaba Korosi, has stressed the need to bring reforms in the UN Security Council. Mr. Korosi was interacting with the media in New Delhi yesterday after meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar and Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Responding to a media query about the Russia-Ukraine conflict, he said to prevent such incidents in future, the Security Council must be reformed. He said India has been very active on the Ukraine issue. In a tweet, Mr. Modi expressed happiness on Mr. Korosi's first visit to India and his support for G20 India. During the meeting, the Prime Minister reaffirmed India's commitment on multilateralism, including at the United Nations. Mr. Modi said he also discussed with Mr. Korosi the importance of conserving and optimizing global water resources. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval will discuss the Initiative for Critical and Emerging Technologies ICET with his American counterpart Jake Sullivan at the White House today. Mr. Doval reached Washington yesterday to attend the first formal talks on ICET. The ICET was first mentioned in a statement after a meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Joe Biden in Tokyo last year on the sidelines of the Quad Leaders Summit. The National Security Advisor is accompanied by a high-powered delegation. India's Principal Scientific Advisor, ISRO Chairman, Scientific Advisor to the Defence Minister, Secretary of the Department of Telecommunications and DRDO Director General are 5 high-profile members of the delegation. There is also an industrial delegation which is scheduled to meet the US side. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Budget 2023. What makes the headlines? What matters most for the people, markets, sectors, industry and the nation? Join All India Radio News for a special live day-long program on Union Budget for an in-depth analysis by experts, special budget bulletins, people's reaction on the budget and exclusive interviews. Tune into the FM Gold channel 100.1 MHz of All India Radio and other frequencies from 10:10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Wednesday, that's 1st of February. It will also be available on our app News on AIR and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
President Droupadi Murmu will address the 31st Foundation Day of the National Commission for Women, NCW, in New Delhi today. The theme of the program is Sashakt Nari, Sashakt Bharat, aimed at acknowledging and celebrating the stories of women who have excelled and paved their journey to leave a mark. Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Smriti Zubin Irani, will also be present on the occasion. The national commissions, state commissions for women, embassies, dignitaries from the legal fraternity, other departments and NGOs will be a part of the event. The Commission is also organizing a 2-day event to celebrate the 31st Foundation Day from today. The first G20 Education Working Group will begin with a seminar on the role of digital technology in education, chaired by K. Sanjay Murthy, Secretary of Higher Education at IIT Madras today. Professor V. Kamakoti, Director of the host institution, will speak on the use of digital technologies in the seminar today. More from our correspondent.
The rich green campus of IIT Madras has been decked up to host the Education Working Group of G20. The day-long seminar today will have 3 sessions including providing accessible and equitable education for K-12 learners, enabling high-quality higher education learning opportunities, providing skill education and training. 69 delegates from 19 countries will participate in the day-long event. The plenary session of the first G20 Education Working Group meeting will be inaugurated by Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, L. Murugan, tomorrow. Delegates will be taken to Mahabalipuram group of monuments and events showcasing the vibrant cultural elements and sumptuous culinary scene of Tamil Nadu will be held on the sidelines. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Assam is all set to host the first Sustainable Financial Working Group SFWG meeting under India's G20 presidency in Guwahati on Thursday and Friday. The meeting will be attended by 94 delegates from the member countries of G20, guest countries and different international organizations. Information and Broadcasting Ministry has issued an advisory on obligation of public service broadcasting for private broadcasters. The guidelines requires the broadcasters to undertake public service broadcasting for 30 minutes every day. The ministry has clarified the content need not be of 30 minutes at a stretch and could be spread over smaller time slots. The theme for the broadcasting should comprise of content of national importance and of social relevance like education and spread of literacy, agriculture and rural development, welfare of women, national integration and protection of environment and cultural heritage. The broadcaster has to submit a monthly report online in this regard on the Broadcast Seva portal. In Pakistan, the death toll in the mosque suicide blast has risen to 59, while 157 people were injured. The blast occurred in a mosque located in the police lines area of Peshawar, near Afghanistan. According to officials, rescue operation is underway as many people are feared to be trapped under the rubble. The terror outfit Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP) claimed responsibility for the blast. The 5th edition of Khelo India Youth Games 2022 began in Madhya Pradesh yesterday. Union Minister and Youth Affairs Minister Anurag Thakur and Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan inaugurated the games in a colourful ceremony at Tatya Top Nagar Stadium in Bhopal. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Thakur said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made constant efforts to take sports forward in the country. More from our correspondent.
A preview of everything from Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat to Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam was on the display at the Khelo India Youth Games inaugural ceremony, which emphasized art, culture, music and the passion of youth. The audience, which includes both seasoned athletes and spectators, was enthralled by the theme song Hindustan Ka Dil Dhadka Do. Zoor laga do, josh dikha do, jaan laga do, josh dikha do, jaan laga do, Hindustan ka dil dhadka do. In the presence of games mascots Mowgli and Cheetah Asha. Famous performers like Shan, Niti Mohan, Avilipsa Panda, drummer Shivamani and other artists delighted the crowd throughout the leisure show and spectacular fireworks display. Players' endurance and skills will be tested from today in a competition for 900 medals. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In women's cricket, India registered a dominating 8-wicket win over the West Indies in the final group match in the ongoing Tri-Nation Series at Buffalo Park in East London in South Africa. Put to bat first, the Caribbeans posted 94 for 6 in the stipulated 20 overs. India comfortably achieved the target of 95 runs in 13.5 overs, losing just 2 wickets. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Pramod. Heavy snowfall disrupts normal life in J&K, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, reports Times of India. Paper says roads, flights and power supply are badly affected. Channels can stagger content of national importance across programs. Centre is a lead in the Hindu, adding that content need not be of 30 minutes at a stretch but could be spread over smaller time slots. MHA plans to form special cyber wings in all districts is on the front page of most dailies as the government move comes after the recent AIM software hacking incident. 61 killed as Taliban suicide bomber targets Park Mosque is a lead in the Tribune. And finally, there is an interesting story of unscheduled stop for a high-speed train in France where a fellow passenger gave birth to a baby boy. And with that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Subhadra. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Budget session of Parliament begins today with the address of President Droupadi Murmu to the joint sitting of both houses. Economic survey to be tabled today, union budget to be presented tomorrow. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Nagaland and Meghalaya to begin today. President Droupadi Murmu to address 31st Foundation Day of National Commission for Women in New Delhi today. 5th Khelo India Youth Games opens in Madhya Pradesh to a glittering ceremony in Bhopal. And in women's cricket, India beat West Indies by 8 wickets in Tri-Nation Series in South Africa. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.